What's up, YouTube? Excuse my voice here. Just getting over something. Trying to get it back, but I wanted to get this video up. I wanted to talk to you guys about this new tank I picked up, the VCST from Vaperz Clouds. Let's go ahead and get some particulars out of the way. We're going to drop down close. We'll take a look at the deck and everything and how we wick it up, because I'm empty finally, so I will go ahead and show you how to wick it up, put a new wick in there. I'm going to leave the build I have in it currently because I've been loving this build and there's nothing wrong with it. So we're just going to put a new wick in it, show you how it goes, and enjoy. For the time being, we're going to go ahead and drip a little juice down the center of this thing, just so I can get a nice little chuff off of it. Enjoying the hell out of this tank. So the VCST from Vaperz Cloud. It's 25mm RTA, 4mm capacity. It has a velocity style deck. Sorry, my brain fart there on what type of deck it was. Velocity style deck on it, makes it nice and easy to get your build in there. Inside the package, you get in this nice little box here. Inside the package, you get the extra glass, so just in case you guys out there break it. Nifty little tool for your Allen head screws, hex heads, whatever you want to call them. The not Phillips, not flatheads. So they give you the little tool there, just like the Twisted Messes RTA, I believe, started to come with one now. And you get some extra O-rings, and you get a little vape band. I don't have my vape band on here right now. I left everything down below because I just wanted to get and start using this thing. So we're going to drop down close and we'll take a look at re-wicking this thing, and then we'll get right into it. I'll see you down close, guys. Okay folks, so we're down here with the VCST up close. This is the way to arrive in the package here. It won't be so dirty since I've already used it, got juice in and everything. But so it comes in this nice little box here. It'll be like that. There is a little bit, there we go. So it'll come like that. There we go. And so we take this out, got a nice little stand on it here, which comes in handy for this video, so I can leave it right there. And so inside the box you have your little hex key tool that comes with it. And then we have spare glass, little vape band, and your spare set of O-rings and screws there. So nicely done there. Oops. And the vape band itself is actually some advocacy, which I appreciate to see. They're doing their part, doing what they can, spreading the word there. So nice lime green vape band. Go ahead and keep that all together. Anyways, okay. But what we want to look at is the part here. So we're going to go ahead and, so to unlock the bottom of the tank here, I'm going to take it off stand for a second here. The tank portion has a little unlock key on there. And then on the bottom portion there's going to be a little discoloration on the metal. It's like a little gray hash mark right here. Since I leave my airflow all the way open, it's always shown right there at the airflow. You're going to move that unlock key right to where that gray portion is, and as you see, as I moved it, the little juice flow openings open up and down, open and close there. So you're going to slide it, and your juice openings will be pretty much all the way open when you take this portion off, and then you have your build. So inside there we have it all juiced up still and everything. So this is how I fill up my tank right now. So inside here I'll just put a unicorn top right inside one of the juice flow holes, fill her up, and she's good to go, and then drop this back on. Now the actual other top fill portion of this, I'll go ahead and show you this part before we get into re-wicking this thing. If you take the large diameter mouthpiece out, on the inside there you'll see this little ring here. That's actually where they want you to fill it up for top fill, sorry. It works okay. I can shove a unicorn bottle head down in there, and it'll get open. And if you tilt it this way, where you have the opening down, you can get it pretty filled up, but by filling it up from the bottom, I can just fill it all the way up until it's full tank and everything. So I appreciate that. It's nice to go for on the run. If you're just doing it while you're sitting at a red light or something like that, and you need to throw a little bit in there, it definitely works. When I take out, by using this and taking this in and out, there is a lot of juice condensation buildup, because this very large chamber, which I still love, by the way, but by taking this part out, when you go to stick it back on, this is one reason I kind of fill it from the bottom most of the time. I get all that condensation and it fills up there, and then when I go to take my first hit, I get a mouthful of juice, which not too big of a fan of. So filling up from the bottom is the way I've been doing it. I don't have any, they give you the option to do it. I'm just saying what I do with it. It is a little more difficult to fill up the whole tank by using that one, because you're trying to fill up to that bottom line there. The pop piece does come off. Excuse me. You're not going to be able to fill up anything by spinning this portion off. There's very little opening there where the glass meets the O-ring, which I'm happy to see, because you don't have to worry about it leaking. All the threads on here are really nice. All the O-rings are super tight, so I will give you a heads up and a warning. When you first get your tank, don't even bother trying to take, if you take the glass off, make sure you juice up the O-rings a little bit. Put a little bit of juice on the O-ring, just so you can slide the tank back on, because these are so tight, such a nice fitment, that the O-rings will just constantly flip down on you, or you'll end up breaking them. You'll have to use your new extra set already. It's a super tight fitment, which is very nice to see. For leakage purposes, I haven't had any problems leaking, but you want to try and make sure that when you're first setting this tank up, is that the fitment on these things is really tight, and you'll end up ripping some O-rings. So that screws back on top, screws in nice, no squeaks, no machine oil when I first got it or anything. Everything was nice and clean. Now it's all juiced up, and I've been using it like crazy. But the way that bottom piece holds on is these two little notches, like we were talking about with the unlock. So on the deck here, I know we haven't been talking much about the deck. The deck here has these two little notches that line up with those notches, and so when you stick it in there and then you turn it, line up this juice full of holes, it's nice and locked, it can't come apart, and the fitment on that's not a problem either. So we'll line this up. Kind of hard to do while it's on the stand here. Here we go. So you'll line it up, and you just turn it, open your juice flow holes up to wherever you want them, and then she's got a nice tight lock there. There is a small gap right here, just as after been using it for a few days, there's a small gap that starts to open up, but the O-rings inside here keep that from any leaking coming out or anything. This double O-ring wall is nice and tight, so I don't get any leakage. Everything you see on the build right now is all kind of condensation, because I've been using it for a while. Once we get it cleaned up and everything, I haven't had any leaking issues whatsoever out of this. So let's go ahead and pull out this old wick here, and we will get you started on wicking this up. I have a small build in here. It comes out to about a 0.2 zipper build made with 30 gauge Canthol. Really like the flavor that comes off of it. Usually run 28 gauge Canthol for the zippers there, but I went ahead and went to the 30 gauge because I enjoy running this tank at about 70 watts, because I can run it all day and don't have any issues with it. Battery life stays up a little better. So, but we're not here to talk about the build. Let me get this cotton out, and we'll start to re-wick this thing so I can show you how easy it is. Alrighty, so in the magic of video cameras, we're going to do that now. Alrighty, so we got everything cleaned off there. We're ready to put some new cotton in here. I got 2 little strips of Japanese organic cotton. We'll go ahead and get her wicked up here. While I'm doing this, the airflow has these 2 little pins, just a heads up since we're down here close. Down where you see these 2 little openings here, there are 2 little metal pins that actually act as a locking mechanism, so the airflow can only turn so far, so it's fully open, and then it only turns so far to the other side to fully close it. They will pop out, so be leery of that. Nothing will be a problem. If they do and you do end up losing them, you won't have any problems with the tank. It just, the airflow will continue to spin around, be able to spin all the way around. So it's not a huge deal, but being able to have that stop in there is nice. So I'm gonna get this pulled through. Alrighty. This is my preference for the build. I have had a few people that I've talked to that have been running Claptons in these and no problems and have been loving it. So it does give you a pretty large deck to work with that you can put in anything. The build that I have in here is actually wrapped around a 3mm post, just to give you some reference. So there's plenty of room in there to kind of run whatever you like to an extent. Alright, my trick with wicking this up, and I've only done this about 3 times in this tank because I haven't had to re-wick in quite a while. They each last probably anywhere from almost a week to 2 weeks with this thing. Surprisingly, but true. Yes, it's true. But what I do with mine is I'll go ahead and kind of hold it down when I go to cut it, and I line it up with the bottom, basically the bottom of the O-rings there, kind of right where the deck is. And so we're going to go ahead and line that up and snip it off. Don't have to be super precise. Yes, this is an RTA, but this is the first time I tried to be cute with it the first time I wicked it up, and it didn't work. So the next time I did it, I said, alright, let's just act like an amateur and throw it in there, and guess what? It worked like a champ when I did that. So don't overthink this wicking, not at all. Alright, so all we're going to do, let me see if I can get this so you can see it on camera here. Fluff up the sides a little bit, but then you're just going to kind of take that bottom portion, and inside, right next to the airflow where it's coming up, like the Kennedy style airflow, you're just going to shove the cotton right in there. That's all you're going to do. So kind of take the bottom tip, get it in there, and then push. And see, well, you can see this on camera here. All I try and do, like I said, you don't want to be too cute with it. Is just make sure that square opening, the cutout you see here, is just covered in cotton. That's all you want. And then what I try and look for on the inside, you won't be able to really see it really well, but you'll see it when you pick this up, is that the cotton kind of touches the bottom of the deck there. Just barely kind of nipping it. That'll help your wicking method when it comes time to get this up here, and it won't overflow your tank, so you'll have juice falling out the airflows. You don't want that either. So we're going to get the rest of the Alrighty, she's wicked up. Alright, you don't have to be as anal as I am when it comes to wicking up this thing. It doesn't take that much. I'm just that tedious about stuff. So let's go ahead and get her some juiced up here. What I find the easiest way to do it is just drip it right down the center and let the cotton start picking it up. The nice thing I like about the benefits I like about this tank here, that because I can take off the deck from the tank even if it was filled. So if I had this tank filled up, I could just leave it like that, work on my build, and throw it right back on there and have no problems whatsoever, just waiting for the cotton to get wet here. The other thing I like is that because my tank is empty, and I want to make sure, like if I was putting a new build in here, I wanted to make sure it was good. I could get to this point, I could juice it up, throw that tank on there, not have to fill it up, and just go ahead and hit it a few times to make sure I liked how it was going to work, so I don't have to waste a bunch of juice to fill up that tank and then find out that the build I put in there is not my favorite. So and then once you have your tank on, you can actually drip all the way through that juice, that opening there, no problem whatsoever. You just drip right through the top, it'll drop right in the center of the build deck, get picked up by your cotton, and you're good to go. I've actually used that a couple times now when I'm trying out new juices and I'm sitting in the shop. Just turn your juice flow off on your tank, go ahead and vape it a little bit, get it almost to dry. Definitely don't want to take a dry hit, but then you can just drip the juice you're trying out right down the air hole, or I'm sorry, right down the chuff tip. Try it out, no problem, whatever, and then go back, open up the juice flow holes, and you're good to go. Alright, so she's pretty juiced up there. Like I was saying, you can just drop this on. Basically, same thing you do to take it off. You're going to line it up. There's the unlock. You're going to line it up with that gray discoloration on the bottom of the tank there. It's going to drop right on, and then go ahead and turn. And she's wide open now, ready to go ahead and hit. Make sure your airflow's, there we go. Airflow's open. The pin on the bottom of this thing is nice and protruding, so if you wanted to rock it on pretty much anything you want, no problems whatsoever. Just be safe, vape safe, and regulate yourself, guys. Don't do anything stupid. But as for, that's how you're wicking, and that's an up close to the VCST, the only tank I will rock now. It has finally answered everything I would want in a tank. Very happy with it. So let's go ahead and start vaping on this thing. And I will catch you back up top, and we'll have some final comments here. Alrighty? Hey, so you're back up here with the VCST. We just got down from below there. You saw everything close up. I haven't filled anything up here yet, so I was figured I'd show you how I fill it up and how you can fill it up on the top. I'll give you an example of both there. When I fill it up from the little top full up here, I always close my juice flow up here, just in case. Don't want to have any accidents or anything. So you just pop that out. Take your unicorn bottle here, and we're gonna shove it in the hole there. Of course, I'm running low on juice here, and she's just gonna drip down inside, no problems. I usually tilt it back this way just so I can get as much as I can in there. Alright, so that would be how I would fill it up from the top. Like I said, ends up with a little bit of whatever condensation you have on the tube there up top. I'm not a huge fan of that. So what we do, for me, is I'll just kind of hold it up upside down a little bit when I go to top it off or whatever. A lot of times when you line this back up and you pull it off, the suction actually is going to drop all the juice down there. You're pretty okay on your inside, no problems. Just take it, find one of those holes there, and start filling up. Of course, I have an empty bottle of juice here. That's okay. And so I just fill up that way. You fill it all the way up as much as you can. You'll see it come up, and you're good to go. And you go to put it on, line up your little spot, get it in there, turn it off, open up juice flow, flip back over, she's good to go. Alrighty, let that soak in a little bit, should be good to go. Yep, like I said, it was vaping about 70 watts. The build comes out to 0.2. She's just hits like crazy in there. This is definitely kind of a cloud machine, but the flavor I have off of it is great too. I mean, off of that build I have in there, the flavor is amazing. It's actually replaced one of my RTAs that I carry around daily. because I'm that happy with it, and I've never been a tank person. So hands off to Vaperz Cloud for finally getting one right that I can use. I'm sorry, not to get one right, but getting a tank right that I can use. I held off on a lot of tanks just because I knew that the opening wasn't going to be happy with me. I tried friends and buddies at tanks and just I've held off, and with this one, with the opening, I said I had to give it a try. I'm very glad I did. I might have to pick up another one when they release in a different color, just so I can have another daily setup to use, or have one sitting around at the desk or whatever, because I'm really happy with it. If you haven't been able to find them, keep your eye out. Go ahead and grab one. Whether you're an RTA person, a tank person, you're going to like it. To go with a couple cons, since I have been playing them up a lot, because I have been really impressed with it. I guess the only cons I would have is that the mouthpiece is integrated in the fill portion, so you can't replace this mouthpiece if you wanted to use some of your favorite chuff tips that some of our vape fams making. I know I use a couple different ones as well, but maybe the Vaperz Cloud's getting big enough into the game here. Maybe somebody will make a new tip for them that incorporates that long passageway in the O-rings. That'd be awesome, so you can have a little bit of more customization on this. But other than that, I don't really see any huge downfall on anything on this. One of the things I thought about early on was, because of the way the deck is being built big enough, and the easy on and easy off tank portion, was to maybe even add an adapter piece that just was a top cap, so you could just rock this as an RTA. Just pull your tank off, throw a little plug in there, put it in your pocket, take the top cap that you have in your pocket on a keychain or whatever, and throw the top cap on there. Now you have an RTA to rock while you're sitting in the shop. But like I said down below, the ability to just close the juice flow off, vape a couple times, get it get most of your juice off of there, and then just drip whatever you're dripping on right down the top to test out new flavors. Works just fine. Like I said, it worked just fine for me. And then once I go to head out of the shop, top off the tank or whatever, open up the juice flow holes, and you're ready to vape again. It's just a really nice piece. I really like it. I guess the only other possibly upgrade I could see, because this tank only holds 4 milliliters, is maybe to look at doing it. I don't want it to go any taller, but I know I've seen the Aspire Cleto tank. Now it has a kind of like a bubble tank, just so it can hold a little bit more juice. Maybe we could incorporate somewhere to do that. I'm not really sure how difficult it is for glass to be formed that way, so other than that, I don't have any problems with it. Go ahead and grab one, make up your own decision on it. I'm sure you can find a resale for it if you'd end up don't liking it, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. So that's my thoughts. Till next time, guys, keep it smooth and enjoy.